All right, good evening, folks. How's everybody doing? Surprise, surprise, midweek stream. So yeah, guys, I just felt like doing a little bit of Train Sim World, specifically some CSX Heavy Haul, which this is where I started when I first bought Train Sim World. This was the base game. CSX Heavy Haul was the base game. Now it's just another route in the base package. And for you guys who are on console, as you may know, when Train Sim World 2 comes out, CSX Heavy Haul is finally coming to the consoles. So GG to you guys on console. I know people have been asking for it for a long time. I mean, I've always really had a special place in my heart, so to speak, for CSX Heavy Haul, because that's where I started, driving the U.S., the American heavy freight. So I've always had, a taste for it. But I don't drive it a lot. And I don't know when the last time I drove CSX at all. So I'm gonna do that tonight. That's probably all I'm going to do tonight. But since I haven't driven the CSX trains in a while, I'm probably going to jump in just a quick training scenario or two just to refresh my memory a little bit, and then pick up a service or two. And actually, we'll have to see how many services we get in, because one of the things about CSX routes, they are long. They're usually pretty long scenarios and services. And a lot of people, always criticize Dovetail in Train Sim World because they say your routes are too short. Well, they're not short on CSX Heavy Haul, which is why I don't stream it more, because normally that'll usually take up my whole stream just doing like one main mission. But I think I'm gonna do one tonight. We'll see how far we get. Maybe if we get lucky, maybe we can throw in 2 missions or scenarios. We'll see. Hannah says, I am good. Wanted to pop in because I have missed most of your recent streams. Oh, okay, Hannah. Glad you could. Always glad you can hang out, whenever you can, as long as you can anyway. Actually, I'm looking. There's a training module here I never completed. Look at that. I could have sworn I did all the training in the past. How did I not get training this Jeep 40-2? I never did that. I'm kind of surprised. Well, actually, the operations are very similar to the Jeep 38 and the SD 40, so it's probably not that much difference. Probably felt like I didn't need it. But in any case, what I really feel like driving tonight is the AC 4400. Probably mainly because that's what we're seeing a lot of in the latest Train Sim World 2 promo videos for CSX. So I think even though I think I know how to drive it, I'm going to jump into a training. They're real short trainings anyway, just to refresh my memory a little bit. By the way, Hannah, are you going to be driving tomorrow with Bald and Old?
This locomotive is the AC 4400 CW, built by General Electric Transportation of Erie, Pennsylvania. This is the workhorse of the sand patch grade, able to generate a staggering 4,400 horsepower from its motor.
Woohoo! 4,400 horsepower. Alrighty.
First off, walk over to the locomotive as indicated.
Look at that big boy. Big American iron, y'all. Alright, hold on a second. Let me clean up my display a little bit there. How do I do that? Enviosa says, my sleep schedule's messed up because of Corona. Yeah, I hear you, man. Same with me. I've been trying really hard to discipline myself about getting back to sleep at a better hour. I've been pretty good about it the last couple weeks. Did I say I drove these in real life? No. No. This is the first thing I drove when I started playing Train Sim World. No, I'm not an engineer in real life. I wish I was. That would be pretty cool. Hannah says, no, not at the moment. I still have to get my wheel. Oh, okay. Set up again.
Inside.
Hey, Frank. A handy dandy second man slash conductor, Frank.
Head over and sit down.
At least that's what we named him anyway. Daffy's and me named him Frank a while ago. Are you going to drive in the convoy? No, I
know this locomotive is operational. Begin by turning the forward headlights control to bright.
I will still be working when Bald starts streaming tomorrow, so I won't be available to drive. Because I'm in the East Coast U.S., so we're about 5 hours behind you guys.
Operating this locomotive. The reverser, brakes, and the combined power handle. The reverser determines direction of travel. Put this into forward. The right-hand levers are the brakes. There are separate controls for the entire train and for...
Hannah's going to alert? Okay, Hannah.
Pull the independent brake lever all the way towards you.
Where's my,
We're about to move.
Where's my brake pressure
make
indicator in this cab? I
to alert
forgot.
anyone around. Remember, safety first.
Has to be right here, right? Let me see. Yeah, it's got to be these gauges right here on the left. Okay. All right, sound the horn twice. 2 toots for safety.
Now add some power, but not too much. Too much power too soon can damage both the locomotive and the cars. Always start off nice and slowly. Pull the throttle lever towards you by 1 notch.
Enviosa says, do you know what time he's doing his convoy? I'm not positive. Hannah probably knows. I mean, he's going to start the whole stream driving ETS, so his stream starts, what, 3 o'clock our time? I guess 8 p.m. his time? 8 p.m. your time, I'm guessing? So probably, yeah, 8 p.m. tomorrow, I'm guessing, your time. But Hannah will probably know for sure, because, you know, obviously Hannah mods for him. What about you, Enviosus? Are you driving tomorrow?
Push the throttle lever away from you, to the middle center off, or idle position. That concludes the basic engineer training on this locomotive, so let's bring it to a stop. Move the independent brake forward a short distance. As with applying power,
Oh, we just had one car.
too much brake pressure applied too quickly.
For some reason, I thought we were
can be
actually pulling a
detrimental
train,
to the
but
train
it's just the
and its
engine.
cargo.
All right, so because he said pull the independent brake, not the auto brake, but we're only driving the cab or the locomotive. Yes, unless the lads need me to play CSGO. Okay. All right. So that's pretty easy peasy. Shaking the rust off. All right. But I should be, fingers crossed. All right. Good luck. Yeah, I'll probably drop in on stream. And as I often say to Bald, I'll probably be working and lurking. You know, I work from home full time now because of coronavirus, as most of my company does around the world, really. Because we have an international company, pretty much, you know, and I forget what the exact number is, but it's something like 90-something% of my company now works from home. So I work from home full time. So usually from home I can do my work and also have, you know, Bald stream up or anybody else's stream on a different monitor. and kind of be watching. So I'll probably be doing that tomorrow. I wish I could drive though. It would be a lot of fun. But maybe if he does a convoy on the weekend one of these days, maybe I'll be able to join that. At least you can watch, yeah. Yeah, and I'm new to ETS multiplayer. Matter of fact, I just got my multiplayer profile set up right before the last set of updates. In which case, you know, obviously, you know, the multiplayer got broke, and I didn't feel like reverting my installation. I didn't feel like being bothered, but so it's kind of new to me. Some crazy drivers on there, yeah, that's so I heard. Which is why I set up a separate profile. You know, I didn't want to basically be susceptible to have some knucklehead come along and run me off a bridge or something and end up going bankrupt on my main profile, my quote-unquote career profile. So I set up another profile with you know, a money cheat, so I have a lot more money to work with and don't have to worry about, you know, stupid stuff. So, but yeah, I'm pretty new to the multiplayer. Truckers MP basically haven't really played, you know, with my community or anything like yet. Yeah, you have one like that too, right? Yeah. All right, so let me see. That was the AC 4400 intro. There's also a coal loading mechanic in the game. I don't know if we're going to do the coal scenario today. We might, but let me run through the training with that real quick just to kind of refresh my memory on how that works. Because it's been a while. Yeah, I had some people tell me you didn't have to have a separate profile, but it just seemed like it made sense, so that's what I did.
Coal loading is a common occurrence on Sandpatch Grade, so we better take a look at how to do it. To engage the loading process, the train must be moving at a constant rate and not exceeding the speed limit. In order to move the train very slowly, this locomotive is fitted with speed control. This is located on the integrated function display.
WG person said, this is a very cool scenario. I like this one. Yeah. Yeah, I like the coal loading mechanic they have in here. It's pretty cool. I also like that that tanker loading mechanic that they came up with Canadian National. Another pretty cool scenario. Holy Wednesday stream, Batman. Hey, Q. Hey, guys. Enviosa says they're usually Turkish, the crazy drivers. Luckily, you can speak Turkish. Oh, nice. Okay. They drive crazy in Turkey as well. Okay. Good to see you, Q. How you doing? Person said he's watching while he's getting some laps in on AMSI. So yeah, doing a little bonus stream, Q, because sadly I probably won't be able to stream this weekend because of work. Hey, Serge, how you doing? All right, so let's see. So this one has a speed control system I have to set up. I haven't done this in a long time, which is why I'm doing the training scenario, person. All right, so it's set the target speed to 2 miles per hour. How do I do that? How do I do that? I haven't done this in a long time. Target speed. How do I do the target speed? Hang on, I'm missing something here. Let's see if I... Enviosa says, need to fix my AMSI. It's running pretty bad. Okay. Q says, doing good. Let's see. How do I set up this? Oh, there. It's this one. I remember now. Enable the slow speed control on off. Okay, I remember now. These buttons correspond to upper and lower roads
We're now ready to
on the
move
screen.
under the coal loader ahead, so get the train moving.
All right,
As we have set the
so
slow
speed control's been set to 2 miles per
It does
hour.
not
Okay.
matter what throttle
Then
position
you
is
engage
used.
on off.
The locomotive will only travel at the indicated speed.
All right, reverser to forward. Brakes are both released, I assume. Add some power. Oh, release the brakes. Ambiosis is alright, says, Kojo, I'm going to sleep now. Just thought I'd drop by. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you, Ambiosis. Sleep well, man. I hope you get your sleep schedule back on schedule. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you for the bets. Appreciate it.
When the train is within range, the loader will activate.
And have fun on the
notification
convoy
will
tomorrow.
appear.
I'll see you then. So, Serge, hope you're doing well. How's everything tonight? Yeah, good to hear. So we're doing a little heavy American freight tonight. It's probably all I'm going to do. I had a urge to drive the good old CSX stuff, which when I first bought into Train Sim World, this was the base game, so this is where I started, and just felt like kind of getting back into it a little bit.
Is completely automated. As each car passes under the chute, the loader will dispense coal until it is full. This will continue until all the cars are loaded. With the train under semi-automatic control, you can watch the loading process from an external camera.
All right, so we'll check out the free cam, get a look at the loading animation. So speed control is set on automatic. It shouldn't exceed 2 miles per hour. Although I noticed when I used to do this scenario in the past, it does tend to drift. And I'm not sure if that was a bug that they patched, but we'll see. But I always thought this was kind of cool. Serge says, chilling out with some Roblox. Nice. Alright, so if our speed has been set correctly, these cars should all rate at 100% full. I think you have to have at least 90%, actually less than 90%. Looks like 70% to satisfy the loading objective. So 100% on that one. Woohoo! Alright, so again, this is just a training scenario, so we don't really have to have everything loaded. The training objective says load the first 5 cars. Or load 5 cars, period. So yeah, I'm just slumming with some training just to refresh my memory a little bit, because I haven't done this in a long time. Alright, I think that's 4. Yeah, they must have fixed the speed control, because it hasn't exceeded 2 miles per hour, which is good. Objective complete.
To bring the train to a halt, return the throttle handle to idle, And on the integrated function display, press slow speed control off. Now bring the train to a stop.
All right, throttle to idle. And I have to reset the speed control. So speed control off so I get control back. And now I can brake. Technically, it says I can load the remaining cars if I want to. How many more cars do we have? Looks like about a dozen and a half, maybe. But this is just a training scenario, just so I could remember what I'm supposed to do. So let's bring it to a halt, and then we'll pick up a real scenario to run. But just wanted to remind myself how to run the basic systems. Q, what you up to tonight? Are you home from work, or are you on the road? All right, so that's pretty good. Is there anything else I want to do? There's a separate training module just on the braking systems alone for that train that we just drove, the AC 4400. But the main point of it is to tell you three separate braking systems on the trains. But I think we already understand that. So it's basically independent brake, which controls the entire length of the train. Or automatic brake, rather. Then there's independent brake that controls just the locomotive. And then there's dynamic brake, which is kind of like electronic braking, electric braking. So I don't think we need to do that. All right, I think I'm good. Let's find something to do. So we got some scenarios. We could run. Let's see what we can do. So most of these run the Jeep 38 and the SD40. Q says you are on the road. Okay. Just left Ohio, cruising through PA, headed to Maryland. Okay, cool. Hope you have a safe trip, Q. Glad you could pop in. Alright, I don't think I want to do scenarios. I think... Actually, you know what? Let me take another look. One of those is a coal loading scenario we just trained for. Can I do that? Ice and snow, Pan America. Could do that one. That's about, what, 45 minutes? So let me see. Having traveled to Rockwood, you quickly put to work at the nearby mine, finish loading a train with coal, and then prepared for his journey east to Cumberland. So we're coming back down the mountain from the coal mines back to our home terminal. Q says, thanks. Pretty boring, I need company. Okay. Alrighty. And then there's a part 2 of that, which takes us the full way down after that. Let me see. How far does this actually run? It's rated for 45 minutes. You know what? I think I'll try it. Let's see how far we get. And then we'll see how much time we have for another scenario after that. What you hauling tonight, Q? If you can tell us, that is. And not have to kill us afterwards.
Been assigned a unit coal train today.
Kappa.
Currently at Rockwood loading facility. First, complete coal loading, then bring the train back to Cumberland Terminal.
Oh, we're on foot. Okay. What time of day is it? We have like no sunlight. Pretty cloudy. Do we have more than one engine? Just one engine, really? You're empty. Okay. And we got no second med. Okay. So Frank ditched us. Alright. Hang on a second. Before I do this, let me just see. Nah, I can't even see the end of the train from here. I probably could if we had better lighting, but I can't really see that well. Alright, so we're heading into the loading facility. Let's turn on some cab lights. Let's see, what time... Oh, it's 2... It's only 2 p.m. in the scenario. That's weird. We need our headlights and our ditch lights. Let's see, do we have any locos on the back? No, it looks like we don't. Okay. Let's get our lights on. Let's see, do we need back headlights? Probably not. Let me see something. Are the back headlights on this locomotive, or are we talking about a secondary unit? It is this locomotive, okay. Yeah, it's alright, I can leave one. Alright, brakes are on minimum reduction. Independent brake is at full application. Alright, reverse it to forward. Release the indie brakes. Two toots for safety. Add a little throttle. Alright, dish lights are operational. One more power. Alright, only just inside 200 yards to the loading. I'm guessing we're going to want to set the speed the way we had it in training to about 2 miles per hour. I love the graphics in this one, says Q. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much complaint about... I didn't mean to break my momentum, I just wanted to set my speed. There's no complaints about the graphics in this, and I'm going to be really curious to see when Train Sim World 2 comes out, which is just a couple weeks from now, how they compare. Alright, so let's see. I want to set speed control on. And set our speed, reduce our speed actually to 2 miles per hour. Engage. Alright, I should be set. Let me see, do I have to... Oh yeah, I have to add some power, but I don't have any right now. All right, so here's the back of our train. Yeah, we don't have another engine on board. I was wondering if we did, but we do not. All right, holding our speed just below 2 miles per hour. That's pretty good. Pretty dreary lighting though, especially for 2 in the afternoon. Which is too bad, because to your point, Q, the graphics in this game are, you know, really good. And the thing that I like about driving heavy haul, you know, on sand patch grade, beyond, you know, driving these heavy CSX locomotives themselves, is the route. The route is pretty. You know, it's like a lot of mountainside, a lot of trees, a lot of creeks, bodies of water. You know, it's a pretty route to drive. But yeah, matter of fact, we can see water here and stuff. But there's in this kind of lighting, we're not getting to see much detail, unfortunately. All right, so here comes our first load. If it loads properly. Perfecto. Pretty good animation, I think. All right, 2 for 2. I'd say we're in good shape. Let me see, I have double monitors. This one's set for speed control right now. Can I reconfigure this monitor to do something different? Speed control, distance setup, distance start, measure air brakes. Because I know, like on what is it, the ACS 64 on NEC New York, you have double monitors set up kind of in a similar fashion, but they can be completely reconfigured to display 2 completely different types of systems. Or actually more than 2, but 2 at a time. And it's kind of cool how you can set it up. I can't remember if you can do that with the AC4400 or not. I don't remember what other display options we get. Alright, so let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars already full. Let's see if we can figure out how many cars we're pulling. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Looks like about 23, 24 cars. 1, 2. $24 cars. So 24 coal cars, And I think in the manual, let me check real quick. They give you a weight estimate. We did this on Steam on a stream before. Yeah, maximum operating weight 286,000 pounds. So once they're full, we're pulling quite a load. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. $3,400 tons. Or 6.8 million pounds. So yeah, that's a lot of coal. Good grief, that's heavy. Which now I don't know how much one of these engines is rated to, you know, pull by itself. Let me see if it says in the manual. While we're waiting for those to finish loading. And we only have a few more left, actually. We're almost done. Let me see, AC 4400. Well, it says it weighs in at 400,000 pounds itself. Which is what, 80 tons? Jesus. Doesn't say what the pull capacity is per engine, though. Oh well. At least not in the manual. I'm sure we could probably look it up on like Wikipedia or something and figure it out. Alright, so it looks like we got about 7 more cars to go. Three-quarters of the way full. But yeah, Q, you're right, that is heavy. But, you know, that's why you need that big American iron, right? As I always joke. Four more cars. Right, exactly. All right, we're nailing the load cycle, everything 100%. Yeah, because I remember doing this in the past, and there was a glitch in the speed control where it would still drift past the speed setting that you had it set to. So I would have it set to like 2 miles per hour, but every now and then I'd still have to apply a little bit of the auto brake just to get, you know, to keep it from exceeding the speed limit that this system was supposed to be controlling. And it looks to me like maybe Dovetail patched it since the last time I ran this, which is good. But that was a long time ago, so I would hope so anyway. And I remember it was a similar bug because there's a speed control system on what is it? The Shed, the Class 66, I think it is. That you play on what is the UK route? Great Western Express. That's their freight train that you get with that. All right, track switch. So set the switch to the correct track. All right, what are we looking for here? All right, we're coming down my right-hand side. We're switching over. We're switching to single track ahead. All right, so pretty easy to set. But there's a speed control system on the Class 66, similar to this one. But that's a British locomotive. And I remember seeing a similar bug on that where you have a scenario something like this, but you're not loading coal, you're unloading, I think it's gravel. And you have to set the speed control so that as your freight cars go over, basically like a grate, I forget what they call it, a collector or something like that, it dumps the load into the collector in the ground. And you have to have your speed set at a certain level to, unload efficiently, just like we're loading here. So fun stuff. But it was a similar problem where it wasn't holding my speed correctly. I should probably try that again one of these days. I haven't run the shed in a long time. All right, so let's disengage the speed control. And we can now drive manually, I believe. Brake systems are both at release. This isn't the weekend. What's wrong with you? Hey, Donna. Are you sure, Donna? Maybe you're working a little too hard now that you're back in the office. Maybe you're the one losing track of time, Donna. I don't know. Wow, where'd that fog come from all of a sudden? That was pretty sudden. Nah, you're right, Donna. I'm not going to try to gaslight you. You're quite sure, exactly. Now, a little bonus stream. Because, fair warning ahead, I'm not going to be able to probably stream this weekend at all. Because work sucks. I have a big project this weekend. We're doing a big data center conversion. So we're bringing basically our applications to a whole bunch of new systems in a brand new data center. And it's, it's a big friggin' deal. You bastard? No, you mean my work is the bastard, my job. Trust me, if I had a choice, I wouldn't. So I have to work Friday night and Saturday night at the times that I normally would stream. You've reached the edge of the represented area. What happened? Oh, that's the end of the scenario. Okay. That confused me. That's right. The next scenario is part 2 of the same one. Okay. I don't quite remember the ending of it transitioning like that before. I wonder if they changed it. Donna said I hold my weekend planned around your streams. Oh. I'm sure that's true, Donna. I'm sure you did. Yeah, unfortunately I have to work Friday night starting at like 11:30 p.m., which is just disgusting. It's gross. So I don't know how many hours I'm going to be working late into, Friday night, Saturday morning. So I need to rest up a little bit for that. So I'm probably not going to stream Friday night. Then Saturday, we start working 7 p.m. on Saturday, which means that's normally when I would start streaming on Saturday evening. Again, several hours, probably into the early morning on Sunday. Sunday, I may or may not have to work. So there's a chance I might stream Sunday, but Friday night and Saturday night are scratches for sure. Donna says, me and my friends were going to have a Kojo party every time you said the word it, we would drink. Okay. Well, we can still accommodate that, Donna. Because if I do a live stream while I'm working, I'm sure you'll hear me say it a lot with a couple extra letters in front of it, maybe like SH, Kappa. So, yeah, maybe we can still do something with that. But I don't know. I'd be worried about you and your friends. I wouldn't want to be the reason you guys got rushed to the hospital for alcohol poisoning or anything. Because there's going to be a lot of 4-letter words this weekend. I'm going to tell you that. And actually, I didn't mention this before in the stream, but I'm going to have the same scenario the following weekend. So 2 weekends in a row. Probably the same hours. I'm probably not going to be able to stream Friday and Saturday. Maybe Sunday, hopefully, we'll see. But it also depends on, how late I worked the previous night and then, how I feel. So, yeah, I mean, trust me, it's not my choice. It's just, demands of the job. It's just the way it is sometimes. But I'm going to make sure our boss gets us some comp time because, we've been planning for this conversion for months. And I'm going to be damn glad when it's over. That's all I can say. All right, so I don't think I'm going to run part 2 of that scenario, only because we've done it before. Also, it's rated for almost 2 hours, and I don't think I'm going to be streaming quite that long. So, let's run something similar to that. Using the same locomotive. I think I want to do the route in better weather because it was kind of dark and gloomy on that one. Donna says, does Daffy's know? This will devastate him, poor guy. No, I don't think he does know. I didn't tell anybody until just starting the stream tonight. So yeah, bonus stream tonight. Because of that, depending on how I feel after work tomorrow, I might do another bonus stream tomorrow. But Friday night, Saturday night are 100% out. Sorry, folks. Maybe Sunday, though. We'll see. All right, let's see what else we're doing here. So technically, this is the same scenario. We're after loading coal, we're coming back down the hill. But I think what I want to do is I want to drive the thing up the hill, because that's kind of a... It's kind of challenging bringing the heavy train down the hill, because you're kind of running e-brake and dynamic brake the whole way down. And I don't find that fun, personally. I'd rather drive with power uphill. That's a lot more fun to me. But that's one of the challenges of driving on sand patch grade is points along the route where it's pretty challenging either direction because of the grade changes. Let's see what else we can come up with. So I think what I'm looking for is a westbound service. Cumberland, Toledo. What else can I start from coming out of Cumberland? Just that one. Light engine. Oh, that's just a pair of engines. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever done that one. Don, have you talked to Daffy's this week, by the way? Because he hasn't been active on his Discord. I probably should drop him a whisper, see how he's doing. Let's try this one. Whoa. Hey, Frank's back. Lazy bastard. Alright, go via location to Hindman. So we got checkpoints Hindman, Mance, and then Salisbury. We stop at Rockwood, Maine, number 1. Alright. Is there any I wish I had an estimate of how long this is going to be. Let's see, where is our... Well, it's not going to show us, or is it? Is it going to show us our ultimate destination? It is. Okay. I thought it might just only show us our next checkpoint, but I think it shows us our final destination. So we're going to about right here. So about halfway up the line. So it shouldn't be one of the, the longer services, which can be like 2.5 hours. But we can probably complete that tonight. All right, so that's good. All right, so we need to engage our lights. Again, just no engine on the back. Just, well, we do have 2 locomotives this time, but they're both in the front. So this might be a longer train than the one we just ran in the coal scenario. Alright, so let's see what we need to do. Set our lighting. So a little bit brighter sunlight to work with today. Let's get our headlights up. Versatile forward. Auto brakes at minimum reduction. Independent brakes at full application. Hello, Ron X203. Welcome to the channel. How you doing? Ron says, I'm going to learn how to play this from you. Okay. Well, good luck with that, man. I have it for PS4, but it's a lot to take in. Okay. So you recently bought it, I guess? All right, hang on a second. Before we begin our ascent, let me just check my switches in the back here real quick because I haven't done this in a while. So AC 4400 is pretty easy to set up and drive. I just want to see what it's already set to. Number lights are already on. Control computer's on. Crosswalk lights we don't need because it's broad daylight. It's kind of midday. But if you have any questions, Ron, let me know. I'll answer what I can. I'm not what you would call an expert, but I have been playing it for about 2 years. So I might be able to answer your questions about the game. Although we often have some people in chat who are more knowledgeable about the trains in real life themselves, but I'll tell you what I know. Alright, 2 toots for safety. Release the brakes. Reverses to forward. Throttle up. Let's add some minimum power. Not too much power. Just enough to overcome initial friction. So now as it starts to roll, we can add a little bit more power. Two years is plenty, yeah. You bought it a while back, but got sidetracked by all the other things you play exactly. I know how that is. Hey, Skilly! Chili Skilly in the house. Hey, bud, he says. Yeah, a little weekday bonus stream, Skilly. How you doing? So shout out to my man Skillet Fan 93, who has recently been playing Sea of Thieves. I was hanging out on Skilly's stream over the weekend while he was playing that with his pirate crew. Pretty good, doing much better. Skilly, how's your car, man? I saw your comments on Raven's Discord that you or Blackston's Discord that you might have to get a new car. Because you said a few days ago you had a repair, but luckily it wasn't a car replacement repair. But then I saw you say that, so it sounds like you must have had a new one. Fubard, you did have to get a new car. Oh, okay. Well, GG on the new car, but rest in peace to your old car, Skilly. So what happened to the old one? Yeah, the old one had a few components in the serpentine system. See, he's up finally. Oh, the serpentine gear is like in the steering assembly? Is that what that is? If I remember correctly? Serpentine gears? It was around $640 repair. Ouch. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to cut power here. We're supposed to... We have a speed reduction coming up ahead to 15 miles per hour, so I'm going to add automatic brake. So the auto brake, and Ron, I'm kind of saying this out loud for your benefit a little bit. The auto brake is the main driving brake that you would use in an American train system, because it controls all the brakes simultaneously for every car, going all the way along the length of the train from front to back. So when you apply brake, all your cars will begin to brake at the same time. So that's your main driving brake. Alright, so within 500 yards, we're expecting a speed limit reduction to 15. I over-braked a little bit there. If that's a word, over-braked, over-broke, I'm not sure how you would say it. Scully says the alternator, belt tensioner, and the AC. Oh, okay. And you had no AC working. Oh, the serpentine, like the belt system. Okay, I'm sorry, I got you. Yeah, that's tough, man. I know how that is. You said serpentine so many times now to folks that it's melting into a mesh of a mess in your brain. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, man. So did you already get the new vehicle, or are you kind of shopping for it now? Alright, so I'm struggling a little bit to drive uphill because there's a 0.5% grade. But I'm still below my speed limit, so it drops 15 right here. We just crossed the sign. I don't know if you saw it. A minivan, if you will. Oh, you do have a new one, okay. It's a Mazda 5 Sport. Oh, nice, okay. Mazdas are pretty good. Oh, GG, Skill. I'm glad you got your hands on a new one. You know, as soon as you could. Sounds like you needed it. It's got some pep my Taurus didn't have. Okay. Actually, you know what? I just did the train crossing horn signal, but I forgot this locomotive has a button, an automatic button for that. Which one is it? It's How do you do that? It's it might be a hotkey for it. Donna says BRB. Okay, Donna. That Doppler effect is neat, says Skilly. Yeah. So Skilly, the thing your Mazda replaced was the Taurus? You had a Taurus before that? Alright, let me add a little bit more power because I'm starting to lose some speed. Still trying to climb this grade. You had a 99 Taurus, the SE. Oh, okay. Alright, speed limit increased to 20 here. I think we're going to be switched over. Actually, we're not. We're keeping the the right-hand side rail. Okay. Alright, so we got reduced back to 15 as we go through this set of transitions on these switches here. Although we're not taking any of these switches, we're just going straight. Yeah, so that horn pattern you use pretty much, you're supposed to use on at railroad crossings. I forget what they call it. It's like the G signal or the Q signal, because it actually matches if you know Morse code, whatever that letter corresponds to in the Morse code alphabet. So it's like 2 longs, 1 short, and then 1 long. So dash, dash, dot, dash. And I don't know Morse code off the top of my head, so I don't know exactly what letter that is. But yeah, if you're playing this on PC, you hit, I just figured out, control space, and it'll automatically do that. It is Q. Thank you, Skilly. What did I say? I said either it was Q or G, so I might have had it half right anyway, but I wasn't sure. But on PC, you hit control space bar, it does it automatically. Which is kind of cool. Hey, Raven! How you doing, Raven? Wow, a little sound glitch there. Nectar! How you doing, Nectar? So Raven, having a little bonus stream midweek because I'm probably not going to be streaming this weekend. I got to work some nasty hours Friday and Saturday nights. So it's going to kind of cramp my stream style. I'm doing okay, Nectar. Good to see you. So shout out to our buddy Raven and his fantastic Zero Gravity Theater stream, who was playing last night Witcher 3. So I was glad I was able to catch your stream last night, Raven. Alright, so let's add a little bit more power since we are through most of our kind of roadside switches that we passed back there going through that little village. And from here, hang on a second. Oh crap. operator error. What you do not want to do is brake a heavy freight train going uphill while you still have momentum. So don't do what I just did. Especially you, Ron. Don't pick up any of my bad habits. Nectar says, well, I'm doing okay, Nectar. As I said on Hypo Stream a little bit earlier, I was a little tired. I was trying to talk myself into streaming tonight because I knew I wasn't going to get to stream the rest of the weekend because work sucks. But I told Hypo, I said, but I think I'm too tired. I don't think I'm going to do it, but after I had some dinner, I felt a little bit better. And so I talked myself into it, so here we are. Working the weekend, yeah, I gotta work some nasty hours too. Like I gotta work starting 11:30 p.m. Friday night. So that's just, you know, what are you gonna do? Sometimes work is like that. Ron says noted. Okay. So right now our speed limit is 25. The line speed is 25. I will be able to increase to 35 in about a mile. And okay, so we were coming in 0.3% uphill grade is now leveled out a little bit. But this whole route we're going to be slowly climbing uphill as we leave, you know, our main area, Cumberland Yard, our home base. But it's this is really pretty country here. It's one thing I really like about this particular route. You know, CSX Heavy Haul, Sand Patch Grade they call it. It's very scenic. So Ron, when I first started playing Train Sim World, CSX Heavy Haul, this that we're driving right now, this was the base game. This was all that the game came with. So this was the very first thing that I ever drove, driving these heavy U.S. freight locomotives. And I'm exceeding my speed limit a little bit. But our speed limit increase is going to catch up to us in a couple minutes. So that's okay. So I just wanted to open my cab lights a little bit, cab windows a little bit, just to let in a little bit of ambient sound. Because maybe it's just me, but it seems like the cabs are all too quiet for me anymore. I like to have a little bit more sounds of, you know, the engines themselves coming inside a little bit. I like to hear it doing some work, you know. Alright, limit increase to 35 should be right here. Little sign we just passed. I think technically the limit increases when the back of your train crosses the speed limit sign. So technically I'm speeding a little bit, but that's okay. And then inside of 2 miles we'll have an increase to 50. 11 miles to our first checkpoint, which is Hindman. But there's, you know, some pretty scenery around here. Raymond says, glad I'm here tonight then. Thanks, Raymond. Glad you could be here, man. Hope your evening's going well. Welcome back, Donna. Alright, speed limit just increased to 35. which means the back end of that train finally crossed the speed limit sign that we passed like almost 2 minutes ago. So that's a pretty long ass train. Q says, okay, Kojo, from here at the truck stop, got to get a shower and food. Have a great rest of your stream if you're gone by the time I get back. Okay, Q. Glad to see you arrive safe, man. Have a good rest of your evening if I don't talk to you. So guys, shout out to our friend Q Diggity, who also is one of my favorite streamers. He streams OMSI the Bus Simulator. He streams the Truck Sims. And for those who still don't know yet, Q Diggity is also a real-life truck driver. That's kind of what he's out doing right now. So he just pulled back a load from, I think he said, well, he came through Pennsylvania. Did you say he came? I think he said he came through from Ohio. And he's berthing at a truck stop in Maryland for the night. So, yeah, have a good evening, Q. Stay safe, sleep well. So throw him a follow if you can. Alright, so inside 500 yards now, we'll have a speed limit increase to 50. Oh, you're welcome, Q. Donna Skillet Fan says, hey, Donna. So Raven, if you're still hanging out, Donna cussed me out because she found out I probably won't be streaming this weekend. And she claims, I need proof, but she claims that I'm blowing her weekend plans to have a watch party on my stream with her and her girlfriends. Her homegirls this weekend, we're planning to have a watch party with my stream and make a drinking game out of it. So she claims. Dude, you do not want the wrath of Donna. Oh, I know, man. I certainly know. Donna will cut a brother, I know. Yeah. Alright, let's add a little bit more power. Our grade just leveled out. So try to keep the momentum up, even though technically we're not still climbing uphill. We're probably still pulling the tail end of our train uphill a little bit. But yes, it's pretty country up here. I like driving up here. Where do you see the grade? Says Ron. Okay, so basically, I just turned it off, but if you notice, there's an overlay that I'm using. So the overlay has multiple components. The main part of the overlay, or the HUD, heads-up display, is this set of gauges right here. So the main thing here is this is your speed limit, or your speed speedometer here, which is also duplicated here. But each one of these other small items on the HUD is also duplicated. So like these are your brake gauges. They're duplicated here. This is the electrical output, because your diesel engine is not technically driving the wheels. Your diesel engine is running a electric motor, and the electric motor is directly what's driving the train. So there's a little bubble right here, and I can't blow it up really, but if you can see it, this is giving me my grade. This is an inclinometer. So it'll show whether or not it's going, thank you, Donna, 2 toots for safety. It'll show whether it's going downhill you're always looking at it from left to right. So right now it's showing I'm going uphill, and then it gives you a tiny percentage, 0.4%. And I don't know the exact mathematics on how it's graded, but basically anything at about 1% is considered a very steep grade. At 0% it's considered flat grade. It's flat ground, flat land. Right now I'm going uphill at about 0.5%. Matter of fact, let me cut my power a little bit because we've hit our speed limit. But we need to still keep applying some power against the uphill grade so that we keep climbing. Right now it just switched to 0.3% downhill, so I just crested a hill and went the other way. Nectar says hydrate. Okay, Nectar, salute. Now it just went back uphill 0.4%. So I went over a small hill, crested, went through a small valley, now I'm going back uphill again. So, if I was driving this train in real life, I could tell whether, just by feel, am I going uphill, am I going downhill, just like you can tell when you're driving your car on the street, right? But when you're driving a simulator like this, you really can't, you don't have that seat of the pants feel. So they gave us this inclinometer in our heads-up display to help with that. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know. But one of the challenges is when you get really good at the game to be able to drive HUD free. So for example, I can turn off certain elements from my HUD just with hotkeys, or I can turn off the HUD completely. And technically, you should have most of the information you need to drive the train just by looking at your gauges in the cab or watching your traffic signals and speed limits signs outside. But there's certain things you can't make up for, just like I said, seat of the pants feel. You can't feel your train going uphill and downhill without the HUD. So, made sense, brother? Okay, good. glad it helped. So yeah, if I'm trying to maintain my speed limit, I'm going uphill, I know I got to keep applying power because I keep pulling uphill, right? If I'm going downhill, I have to, in some cases, not only cut power, but I have to apply some braking to keep from, breaking the speed limit as I come back downhill. So like if I'm driving the same route in the opposite direction, it's almost all downhill back to our home base. But leaving our home base here, it's almost all uphill. Donna says, can you repeat that from when you said you have an overlay? Yeah, so basically you can turn the entire overlay off. So all my screen elements just disappeared. But you can also turn pieces of it off, Donna. So for example, I can turn off kind of this main bubble here just by, I think it's F5 or Control 5. Or I can turn off, or I can switch, really. The upper left display was telling me where my next checkpoint is. Things like that. Or kind of on the upper, my right, where it's telling me what my next speed limit transitions are and stuff like that. Wait a second, didn't mean to do that. Actually, it's only going to show me the one because it's not showing me the second part of that. But the point is, you can totally reconfigure your HUD. So if you want a challenge to say, I want to drive totally HUD free, you can turn everything off, or you can just turn off parts of it. And I think you're probably trolling me, but I'm going to answer you anyway. Because what would a Kojo stream be without Donna trolling them? Alright, so let me see. We're still holding the 50 miles per hour limit. So our grade just increased to 0.6%. Troll you, would I do that? No, I guess not. Silly me, what am I thinking? Alright, so I'm gonna add some more power, try to keep right on the speed limit. We're probably not likely to see a speed limit higher than 50 miles per hour. Skelly says, Donna, I think you would. So Donna, you and Skillet are in the same club. Skillet just bought another car. So both of you guys got new vehicles in the driveway. Yeah, Donna bought, what is it, Tacoma, right? Donna, Toyota Tacoma? A few weeks back. Like a month ago, okay. Skilly says, I really want a truck. I want the new 2021 Bronco. Oh, you like that one, Skilly? Yeah, I just finally saw it yesterday for the first time. I mean, I'd been seeing prototypes and stuff of it for a while. You know, spy shots and things of it, but that was the first time I saw the official release of it. Alright, we're not being switched here, because otherwise the signal will probably slow us down. So we got clear ahead, green. Which means we can highball, which means we can drive at maximum line speed. Which is currently still 50 miles an hour. Yeah, and I also finally saw the new Ranger too, Skilly. Which, I was surprised. I didn't know the Ranger was going to be a subcompact. Or actually, I'm confused. It's the Bronco that's the subcompact, right? No, it's not the Bronco. I'm thinking of something totally different. I just saw the... I did see the Ranger also, but what I'm thinking of is... what's the name of it? The Trailblazer. The Chevy Trailblazer. Which I didn't know the Chevy Trailblazer was a subcompact. Because the old Trailblazer was... You know, I think it was just a mid-size SUV, but this one's like real small, like CRV small, so that kind of surprised me. Oh, now I'm speeding. So even though I had a grade increase to 0.9% somehow, so I gotta watch this, my acceleration. Let's cut power a little bit. So those two engines are really cooking now. So I like these little areas, like with like these little villages that we roll through. All right, inside of a mile though, we're gonna have to cut our speed to 25. All right, there's our checkpoint. So inside 1,000 yards now, I need to cut speed to 25. Still pulling up a pretty steep uphill grade now, 1.5%, so that's really, really steep. Let me add a little bit of, whoops, wrong brake. Auto brake. Start dragging our speed down. But again, because we're coming uphill, hey, Si, how you doing? Because we're coming uphill so steeply, I don't want to totally lose momentum. This is a very, very heavy train. You don't want it to lose too much power coming uphill. All right, so there's a limit at 25. We're at our limit, and limit cuts right here, right at that sign we just passed. But technically, the new limit's not in effect, I believe, until the back end of our train passes it. No, I take that back. If it's a speed limit reduction, it's effective immediately. If it's a speed limit increase, it's not effective until the back end of your train passes the sign. But yeah, Donna, Skilly bought a new car only because his old one died. Raven says, sigh and them thighs. Recyclable thighs. Raven, have you made Sai a command in your chat? Does Sky have his own command, or did you make like a sub snack out of his thighs? But yeah, this is really pretty country here. Got mountains and stuff. She's starting to struggle a little bit to maintain speed. This is a pretty train game, it is. And matter of fact, Si, we're in the last weeks of this game because there's a brand new game coming out, Train Sim World 2, in August 6th, I believe. So we're kind of doing a farewell tour of Train Sim World, which I kind of feel guilty. I hadn't been streaming it that much the last couple months, but I think the last 2 weeks I've gotten in 2 streams. I'm going to save here because I hear some weirdness in my sound. I don't know if you guys hear that, and if this game crashes, we want a checkpoint. Is this a game that has a ton of DLC to buy? It does. Train simulators usually have a lot of DLC to buy, but the cool thing is, the DLC I've already bought, that we've already bought for this game, will automatically port to the new game. So we don't have to buy all these new routes again that we already own. So that's a cool thing the dev did. Very cool thing they did. I mean, smart business in my opinion. Because they want people to transition to the new game. You don't have to buy everything from scratch. I mean, I have... God, I don't even know how many DLCs I have. But, you know, we're talking several $100s worth of software, so, yeah. Keeping user base happy, yeah. And watch my speed limit, because I'm just slightly over my speed limit. Again, still pulling pretty steep uphill. Run. We're going 1.5% uphill grade, still very, very steep. So we have to keep applying forward power. But she's doing it. She's working it. So we got 2 engines putting in work, and they're getting it done. Sai says, I've seen the prices on Steam. It's nuts, yeah. So yeah, this one is Train Sim World. If you do if you buy everything, I don't know the exact total. I'm going to guess like $700-800. I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm not even sure. The old game that this dev produced before this, which has been out probably a decade now, Train Simulator, which is now called Train Simulator 2020. It's on the older game engine, but it's still popular. So they haven't retired it yet. If you do the total price for that game and all its DLC is something like $11,000. So it's, I mean, it's nuts, right? And I remember looking at it one time during the Steam sale, and with everything that was mostly on sale, you know, sale prices between 30 to 70% off, even with all those discounts, it was still like $6,000 or $4,000, somewhere in there. So yeah, you know, I often say ours is not a cheap hobby, and there's an example of why. And you know, when you do it a little bit at a time, a sale at a time, over years and years, you don't really feel it. But when you go back, yeah, that shit adds up. I mean, that's why you kind of have to wait for Steam sales and stuff, because it adds up. Sai says, are you also interested in train miniatures? No, I mean, I would be interested, but practically speaking, no. I remember, you know, I used to do HO scale railroading when I was little, you know, probably up through middle school. But, you know, having model railroads, you know, real model railroads, they take up space, you know. And I just don't really have room. Or I put it this way, I haven't made room in my home for a place like, for something like that. That takes, you know, it takes some dedication, not just in terms of cost, but, you know, just having a place to set up for that. And, I would say, you know, for my girlfriends who have lived with me in the past, I'm not sure they would have put up with that anyway. So, or my wife, you know, when I was married for a while. So yeah. But, you know, to me, this right here that we're looking at, this takes up a hell of a lot less space, right? So, yeah, this works for me. All I need is the space of a couple PC monitors, right? And I get to drive from inside. Skelly says, I can understand. Yeah, Skelly, right? So, some of you guys who don't play train sims or really, I guess, follow the business of it. So the guy who produces this game and the other train simulator, his name is Matt Pedalston. He is the executive producer? Senior producer for the game. He also streams on Twitch. He's a Twitch partner. He and some of his friends and I guess co-workers have a real, I mean like a big boy, real scale model railroad. You'll actually see me hosting it sometime. I can't think of the name of it, but you see them running that thing on weekends, and it is, I mean, it's glorious. It's like, I don't know where they put it, but it's like they must have like a warehouse somewhere rented, where they have this huge scale railroad that has tunnels and bridges, and they've got remote control panels and displays, and they've got little cameras and inside tunnels, and they stream it on Twitch, and they have multiple cameras and split screens, and they're showing you all the stuff that's going on, and I mean, it's totally awesome. So, from what you're talking about, side, that's the kind of thing, if you're going to do model railroad and you want to do it like that, I mean, it's just beautiful. So, I haven't seen Matt stream that in a while, probably because they're prepping the replacement for this game. Because he's a Twitch partner, I haven't seen him stream in weeks. But, you know, when they do those, streams, hey, Lil John, welcome. Lil John probably knows what I'm talking about. When they do those streams, I usually host them, or you know, you can probably go look on his channel. Matter of fact, and I just want to make sure I can spell his name right. I'll post a link to his channel on Twitch, because his last name is spelled a little. It's not a common spelling for the way it's pronounced. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, so it's Matt Pedalston. He lives in the UK. He's a UK streamer. Because the company he works for, Dovetail Games, is a UK company. But anyway, check out his channel if you guys are interested in that. You can probably find that in his VODs. because him being a partner, his VODs are going to go back a lot further. But yeah, just you know, drop in and look at one of his VODs and check that out. Yeah, the model railroad they have is awesome. Hey, Alex. Welcome. How you doing? Well, I should say welcome back. All right, so we're still pulling 1.5% uphill grade. Still the tough part of the route. 25 miles per hour limit. I know it's late. It's late where you are, Alex. Well, it's getting late here, but not past my bedtime yet, technically. 2:53 a.m. right? Lil John says, love the model railroad streams on Matt Pedalston. Yeah, Lil John. Yeah, because our friend Recyclable Sai was asking me about model railroading, and I just told him I don't have room for it. But if you're going to do it, Sai, do it the way they do it in Matt Pedalston's stream. Check it out. Trust me, it's awesome. And I have no idea what kind of investment they have in that, but I'm sure it can't be, you know, it can't be cheap. But, you know, I don't even know where they put that up. I mean, is that like in Matt's basement or something? I don't know. It seems like they have so much room. Like, I mean, it looks to me like they you know, rented a corner of an airplane hangar or something. Because the scale of what they have is just, it's really, you know, it's a pretty big setup. I mean, the houses that I've owned, I always have full basements. You couldn't fit their setup in my basement right now. It's an incredible layout, says Lil John. Yeah. How you doing tonight, Lil John? How's the popcorn? Lil John's always munching on some popcorn, guys. Lil John, are you the one who told me about somebody recently had told me, and I didn't know this, the Boy Scouts sell, doing good to hear, the Boy Scouts sell flavored popcorn. Just kind of like the Girl Scouts sell cookies, the Boy Scouts sell flavored popcorn. I didn't know that until recently. Popcorn's good, nice. Alex says, I was just looking at some news, apparently meant to be meteor showers soon. Really? Oh, okay. How soon? Wow, that's a pretty long train. Looks like we had a speed limit increase coming up inside of 2 miles this week. Like, do you know during which days? Because, I mean, we're already into Wednesday of the week, right? John says, oh yeah, I heard about that too. Have you tried the popcorn they sell yet? No, I don't know anybody who sells it yet. Alex, no? Okay. Yeah, I have to look that up online and see if there's any information about it. And also it's a question of, you know, where is it going to be visible from? Alright, entering the tunnel here. Not a long tunnel though. Sai says the next game must look amazing if this already looks pretty dang good. Yeah. Well, that's going to be the question. So, if you hold your breath, if you type in the chat Sai exclamation TSW, there will be a link that'll show the information page they have. Thank you. To the new game, so you can at least see screenshots of it. And just the last couple weeks, they've released some promo trailers to show us gameplay. For example, they've showed the replacement for this route in the new game. That was the first trailer they showed us. But other than those trailers, we haven't seen a lot of in-game live gameplay. So, you know, the game's releasing August 6th. So I'm kind of getting a little impatient. I'm like, well, at some point, you know, when are we going to see the live stream? Start showing us the actual game. So that's the only thing I'm a little nervous about. We haven't actually seen it. Need gameplay of the two, right? Because with the new release, they're giving us 3 routes. This route being, you know, redone, remastered, what have you. And then they're giving us ICE, which is the German high-speed line, I believe. I forget the German word for it, but it's like, you know, their super duper high-speed line. So it's the first time we've had, you know, true high speed on this game. And then they're also giving us the Bakerloo line as part of the London Underground. ICE, yeah, that's what I said. The London Underground, that'd be the first time we're getting a subway line in Train Sim World. But I have the London Underground on the Circle line that I play in a separate game. You may have seen me play sometime. It's called World to Subways. Skillet said it. I almost said Autobahn. Okay. Alex says IET in UK Intercity Express train. Oh, okay. I never heard of IET. Okay. Autobahn is for cars in the EU. Yeah, that one's spelled differently though. You're talking about the Autobahn. It's A-U... What is it? How do you spell it in German? It's A-U-T-O-B-A-H-N. Yeah, the Autobahn in Germany is notorious. Because technically, people always said they don't have speed limits. Technically, they actually do have speed limits, but they're super high. But yeah, we're getting those 3 lines with the new game. And Alex says we need a pacer. Yeah, a lot of people ask about the pacer. I don't know much about the pacer myself, so I'll be learning about that when it finally comes out, I guess. The hell is that? Hey, look at the, oh, it's an electrical box. For a minute, I thought it was a porta potty. I was like, who put a porta potty out in the middle of nowhere? Alright, so 6 miles to our next checkpoint, which is at Mance. And 1 more checkpoint after that to Salisbury, and then our final destination, Rockwood, Maine. That's where we're headed. So I'm going to make another save point here because our last checkpoint was a while back, and I don't want to redo it over if the game crashes or something else stupid happens. Lil John says, I thought it was 1-2. Oh, you thought it was a porta potty, yeah. Alex says there's a good explanation on YouTube if you want a link. For the pacer, you mean, Alex? Yeah, you can post it in chat. I just permitted you for it. If you could whisper it to me, though, also would be better. But yeah, if you want to put it in chat to just for everybody else's, benefit? Go ahead. Whoop, speed limit decrease, I just missed. Alright, so not quite as steep of an uphill grade right now. We're 0.6%, but we still need to climb. Alright. So, what's up with that? That's looking a little shady. Alex says, here you go. Thanks, Alex. Alright, I cut a little bit too much power. We got a lot of power to use. Alright, so right now, both of my they call these multifunction displays, are both showing the exact same readouts. Alright, let me max that power out. I'm kind of still wondering if I can change my display on one versus the other. On this particular locomotive. I know other ones they have in the game you can do that. Alright, so I got us back to 25. It really wasn't that hard for this train. Yeah, these are pretty powerful locomotives. Matter of fact, for the CSX line, these are the most powerful locomotives they have. The AC 4400s. And we got two of them right now. Yeah, they're putting in good work. But when I first started playing Train Sim World, these were the first trains I drove, the CSX locomotives, so I've always liked them. So a lot of people don't necessarily like, freight trains. They like passenger trains better. A lot of people don't care for American freight specifically. A lot, especially in Europe. But I've always liked the American freight a lot. I mean, they just have a different feel, It's like the muscle cars of trains. But yeah, folks, for anybody who arrived late who didn't hear me talk about it earlier, the only reason I'm doing a bonus stream on Wednesday night is because I most likely will not get to stream this weekend coming up. And Ron, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, I probably won't get to stream this weekend, guys, because of work. Because work sucks. So I have to work Friday night and Saturday night, and probably will not get to stream at all. There's an outside chance I might be able to stream Sunday, but it depends on how late I work on Saturday night, so we'll see. So, because of that, I've been motivated to throw in a little bonus stream tonight. Maybe there's a chance tomorrow, depending on how tired I am after work hours, but I might do another one tomorrow. If I do stream tomorrow, it'll probably be a completely different stream. It probably won't be Train Sim World again. But I'm not sure what. We might do some more OMSI tomorrow. Or I might do something completely different. I don't know. We'll see. Scully says, understandable though. At least you got to be able to relax after work. Yeah, exactly, Scully. And thanks. Appreciate the understanding. But yeah, like I said, the only reason why I had said earlier, because I was when I first got off of work, I dropped in on our friend Hypo Junkie stream for a little while. Because he was streaming mid-afternoon, and he was asking me. He said, "Any chance you're going to be streaming tonight, Kojo?" It's not. I don't normally stream on on weekdays. Most people know. Brian, I'm mainly a weekend streamer. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon is normally when I stream. But I told him, I said, I was trying to talk myself into doing it, Hypo, because I really want to, because I'm not going to probably stream this weekend. But I told him, I said, I'm really tired after work. I don't think I'm going to do it. But, you know, after I kind of had some dinner and felt a little bit better, I was like, yeah, I think I can do it. So that's why we're here, guys. And I appreciate you, everybody, you know, being able to drop in and hang out with me on a weekday night, because this is normally not when I'm here. So I'm glad you folks can be here, especially, you know, some folks who normally aren't able to join us on weekends, like Skilly. Always good to see you, Skilly. So Skilly, again, I was having a lot of fun watching you play Sea of Thieves last weekend. I was glad to see you finally doing it, because you hadn't been doing it for a while. Any idea when you might stream again, Scully? Definitely want to do more when I can. Yeah, folks, anybody who hasn't been following, follow our buddy Skillet Fan. His stream is actually very polished. He just needs to do more of it. All right, thanks, Alex. I'm not going to be able to read that while I'm streaming, but so the 140 is the pacer? Is that what you're talking about? Wasn't expecting you to. Okay. Skelly says I definitely want to do more when I can. Okay. All right, so let me see. 1.6% uphill grade, still limited to 25. 4 miles to our next checkpoint at Mance. So still pulling. Still doing good. No, the 140 is the prototype. It's been preserved and doesn't run on mainline. No more. Same with the 141s and 42s and 44s. All right. Yeah, thanks for the info, Alex. The only thing, Alex, in the future, I prefer in my chat if you don't put a lot of text, big blocks of text in chat at once. If you have information that's a lot of information like that, I prefer you put a link in chat. So if people are interested, they can kind of go to the link and read more about it. And only because you got to realize when you do chat, it's a small message format. So when you put a big blob of text in at once, it makes your text scroll a lot. So if people are trying to read what other people say and all of a sudden everything just kind of scrolls out of view real quick, that's usually kind of rude. So in the future, just put a link in chat, and if people are interested, they can read more. But thank you for the information, I appreciate it. Yeah, and if you don't mind, if you can like whisper me a link to that information, I can read it after stream. All right, so let me scroll back up for a second. Yeah, thanks though, Alex. I appreciate it. What else did I say? Skilly. So you just got a promotion also. So are your hours going to change at all? Like, will you have any more free time, you think, or are you going to actually work more with that promotion? Alright, 3 miles to our next checkpoint at Mance. And you know what? While we're coming up here, let me check something. Alright, so we have somewhat of a semi-straight run before we kind of hit these curves and hit our checkpoint. So because I would like to try to finish the scenario before bedtime sometime, I'm going to cheat the speed limit a little bit and see if we can make up a little bit of time on the route. Alex says, gonna head off night all. Okay, Alex. Thanks for hanging out, man. Hope you sleep well. Appreciate the info again. Take care. Let's see. Also, thanks for the whisper, Alex. Hey, caller. Kojo stream anniversary? No, not this week, caller. Next week. Tonight's just a bonus stream. It's not technically my stream anniversary. That's technically next Wednesday. How you doing, caller? Let me see. Are we coming into the curves now? In a little bit. Okay. I'm doing okay, caller. We're just doing a bonus stream tonight because as I was telling folks, I probably will not be able to stream this weekend because of work. I got to work late on Friday night and Saturday night, so I probably will not be able to stream my normal times. Speeder, yeah. Yeah, I'm speeding a little bit because, you know, on Sand Patch we kind of have some long scenarios, so I'm trying to hope I can finish the service off before too late in the bedtime. But yeah, alright, I'm coming into the curve soon. I probably should act like I know and cut my speed. I don't want to derail this sucker after all this work that we put in getting it up here. Alright, so we're back under our speed limit now. Add a little bit more power when we lose too much more momentum. But yeah, we're climbing back at 1.5%, so that's still pretty steep. You are doing a great job. Hello, Skyhaven. Welcome. How you doing? So far, so good anyway. How's your evening, Skyhaven? Doing great. Good to hear. Toot says color with shades. Alright, inside 500 yards to our next checkpoint, which is Mance. So in these really long freight scenarios on CSX, each one of these checkpoints actually, I believe, gives us a save game checkpoint. So if the game crashed or something, we'd roll back to that. But because they're really long routes, I still make intermediate save points, only because I've learned the hard way that sometimes you have such a long distance between these checkpoints. If you screw something up, you want to have a save point to roll back to. Alright, so there's our checkpoint at Mance. Looks like the whole town consists of one building. What is that? Like a post office or something? But yeah, pretty country out here. So I think it was side. Wow, I can see the back of my train way up on the other side of the hill. See way back there? Can you guys see that? Man, that's a long train. Got a long one coming the other way too. So we have a speed limit increase, I believe, of 30. Was that 30? The sign we just passed? I think it said 30. I thought it said 35, actually, but might be wrong. Scully says, that's cool to see. Train so close yet not touching right. Yep. Just like that, Scully. Screenshot. Yeah, but our train is so long that, because normally I can switch cameras and go from front to back. Actually, didn't do it that time. What I started to say was our train is so long that by the time I flip to the back camera, it brings up a load screen. But that time it didn't. Maybe it's the other camera. Let's see. And there's the back. Actually, that's not even the back of my train. It didn't jump all the way back that time. There's the load screen. Yeah, it's pretty long. And I'm losing power as our grade increased to 1.7%. So let me add some more power. Get this sucker up that hill. So still clear signal. Inside 500 yards, we're going to increase to 30 miles per hour. Color. Yeah, I think it's time for me to deactivate that command. At least ban color from using it. Alright. Actually, that's the speed limit sign I was just looking for. I think it says 30. Alright, grade is actually dropping a little bit, so... Alright, let's see, 5... Just over 5 miles to our next checkpoint and then the end of the line. Okay. So, let me see, what time is it? Hopefully we can finish this off. So, maybe another 20 minutes, I'm guessing. Let me see, do I have map lights in my cab? Desk lights? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. I do. Right on this side. Because on some cabs you have basically just workspace lights that just illuminate your desk. So you don't have to have like the more harsh lighting that lights up the whole cab. But plus I turned it the wrong way. Nah. Oh well. We're out of the tunnel anyway. Alright, still clear signal ahead. Limit of 35 coming up, but I'm already doing 35, so. Although technically we're on a downhill grade now, so I probably should apply a little braking. Get us back under our speed limit. So I think we crested the worst part of the route in terms of climbing that big ass mountain. speed limit just increased? No, it still hasn't increased yet. It's still at 30. Alright, there's our increase to 35. I'm going to make a mini checkpoint here. Whoa, way over my speed limit. Whoa, Nelly. Oh, we're 1.0% downhill grade now, so pretty steep downhill. And we did the next checkpoint yet? 4 miles to our next checkpoint, and then our final stop right after that. And I'm not quite sure how far our last stop at Rockwood is. Let's see if we can see on the map. So a pretty good haul. We started way down here at Cumberland Yards, our home base. So this is our final destination here, I believe. Or is that a checkpoint? I'm not sure, 100%. Let me see. If I switch my marker, does it show on the map? It does not. Alright. I'm pretty sure this is our final destination here, the green marker. Our blue marker here is just our next checkpoint, so that's inside of 4 miles. Alright. I'm speeding. I'm being irresponsible as an engineer. Luckily, we're not going through too severe a curve. Because we don't want to derail. I mean, it doesn't happen often. It's not easy to do, but you can derail in this game. Although if you were trying to derail because you wanted to see it happen, you'd probably be disappointed by the actual visual effects. They're not spectacular at all, so it's really not even worth it. Alright, so I'm going to cut power to idle. And might have to pump the brakes, so to speak. Just a little bit. Because we're still coming downhill pretty steep. It's 0.8%. Pretty good grade. She's actually holding her speed pretty good, even without the brakes. We got coming up here another roadside village. Give them a couple quick toots, just to let them know we're coming. Alright, I'm going to add some more auto brake. She's just starting to creep past the speed limit again. Relatively straight ahead. Don't have to worry about curves yet too much. Cut the brakes. I think we're right. You know what? I might be able to just add a little bit of independent brake. Just a little bit to maintain our speed. Rather than continually having to pump my auto brake. Let me see, maybe I can add just enough. Where to hold our speed until the grade changes anyway. Nope, not quite enough. She's still picking up speed. Got another one coming downhill. So this one's carrying, those are auto carriers. That's carrying a load of automobiles. Alright, now it's losing too much speed. Cut both brakes. Oh, that's a pretty area. Look at that. Alright, this end of that train. Alright, clear ahead, but our speed limit changes to 35. Actually, it's still 35. Auto brake. Grade increase, 1.2% downhill. Inside 2 miles to our next checkpoint at Salisbury. Curves aren't too bad. Should be alright. Alright, we're at our speed limit again. Let me try the independent brake again, see if I can get just enough friction where to hold our speed, but not lose speed. So what's the hotkey for that one? There it is. Sometimes the handles are easier to modulate with hotkeys than they are graphically in the game. add a little bit of auto brake. Alright, our grade is actually leveling off now, so alright, we're back to level grade. Alright, inside of a mile to our checkpoint. So we got a lot of grade transitions. Goes up for a little bit, then back down a little bit, and up again. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Losing a little bit too much momentum. Let's get those diesels cooking a little bit. Got some road traffic up here. Well, one car. I don't know if you call it one car road traffic. I don't think we've seen that many actual roads so far up this far on the route up till now anyway. All right, 300 yards to our checkpoint. Salisbury. Alright, there's our checkpoint. And 6 miles to our last stop at Rockwood, so we're averaging about 35 miles per hour, or we're limited to 35. I can't math and stream. So, probably about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Roughly, 5 to 6 minutes. Yeah, a lot of pretty country around on this route. It's one of the things I like about this route. I mean, I'm not even sure what state we're in at this point. I don't know if we're still in Maryland or if we've transitioned into Pennsylvania or where we are. It'd be nice if Frank would tell us, but Frank never even talks to us. Going to visit Q in Pennsylvania. No, Q said he's actually in Maryland now, Color. I think he said he came from your neck of the woods. I think he said he came from Ohio. So he came from Ohio down through Pennsylvania, and he's sleeping tonight at a truck stop in Maryland. Yeah, I asked him what he was hauling, but he said he was empty coming back. Yeah, tell him next time stop and look you up, right? Tell him bring you some Maryland crab cakes or something. Which, for folks who have never actually had genuine Maryland crab cakes, if you're ever in the Washington, D.C. area, get real Maryland crab cakes. They are no joke. I mean, even where I live, we have some places that make pretty good crab cakes. Matter of fact, there's an Asian restaurant, a very famous one in our area, that they have a crab cake appetizer that's really, really good. Even so, nowhere as good as they make them in Maryland. Especially down there around the Baltimore Inner Harbor area. So yeah, if you're visiting the nation's capital, it's worth the trip. All right, 4 miles to our stop at Rockwood, Maine. What is this? Bizarre. So 2 miles we get a speed limit increase to 45. I mean, it's almost not even worth it at this point. And you know what, now that I think about it, I remember running this route in a wintertime scenario where it was snow and ice, and I got all the way up here and I went to the speed limit increase and actually increased my speed, only to basically not be able to slow the train down quick enough to my final stop, and went through a red light and spatted and failed the scenario after driving for like almost 2 hours. So that's what made me get to the habit of start making my own checkpoints as I drive along, just like this, so I have some place to roll back to if I do something stupid at the very end of my route, like slide through a red light, which automatically fails you in the mission. Which is, you know, kind of a buzzkill, you know. But, live and learn. So for, you know, a lot of Train Sim fans who always basically, you know, they criticize Dovetail because a lot of the routes in Train Sim World are not long routes like this one. Those are the caveats you have for long routes. You know, you don't want to spend hours and hours running your route only to do something stupid and actually fail the mission and not have a checkpoint. Like your last checkpoint is 2.5 hours behind you, so something you have to keep in mind when you run really long routes. I mean, on this route, like each one of these checkpoints that we've gone through that you see in green here, on this particular mission, I believe it's giving us a save point, checkpointing each one of those stops. But even so, they're like really far apart. Hello, Phoenix. Phoenix says, hello, Kojo. Can't stay long, but wanted to pop in and say hi. Hope you have a great stream. Thank you, Phoenix. Yeah, we're coming to the end of the stream here. So, yeah, like I told Hypo, I didn't think I was going to stream tonight, but I ended up talking myself into it after all, so glad I did. So, glad to see you. And thanks for the well wishes. Have a great night. Are you streaming tonight, Phoenix? Not tonight? Oh, okay. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people take Wednesday nights off, but shout out to our friend Phoenix66 Cerberus. Somehow I always say Cerberus wrong. Who's Rico? Oh, it's Phoenix, you started playing The Walking Dead. Oh, I didn't know that. The final season. Okay, cool. Yeah, I only played the first season of The Walking Dead. I really liked it though, but I never played any of the other ones, so hope you're enjoying it. But yeah, I know you said you can't stay long, but thanks for dropping in. Have a good night. Subaru, says Kala. Subaru? What do you mean? Oh, Phoenix 66 Subaru? Yeah. Uh-oh, I'm speeding. Hang on. Thank you, Phoenix. But yeah, folks, give our friend Phoenix 66 Cerberus a follow if you can. She tends to play a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot. She's pretty. She has a lot of variety in her streams, but she plays a lot of first-person adventure games and shooter-type games, things like that. Horror games she's been getting into. She has recently been playing some platformers, even though she claims she's not a platformer, but she's pretty good at them when she does. Nice one, Dakota. Yeah, I think I instead of Subaru one day color, I think I started Sushi. I'm gonna blame Raven for that one. Raven got into a line of conversation and made me start calling her Phoenix Sushi. Oh, you know what? I don't know if she's still here. I meant to ask her if she had, because she likes sushi also, but it reminded me earlier when I was on Hypo Stream, she was talking about ramen. Because she said two of her favorite things are ramen and sushi. And they're also two of my favorite things. But she was cooking ramen for dinner, and I was like, damn it, now I want some ramen. You know? But even though I had some ramen in the house, I didn't make ramen. I ended up making, I actually had some chicken that I needed to eat, and so I ate that and some salad. But maybe I'll have some ramen for lunch tomorrow or something. Carla, what you have for dinner tonight? All right, wait. I got a reduction coming up to 40. Let me slow my ass down. Actually, our stop is coming up inside of a mile and a half. Let me slow down, period. So, forget the speed limits. Now I got to start planning for our final stop. So, our stop is 1.3 miles ahead. I'm showing you had Taco Bell. Okay. Oh, Phoenix still here. Phoenix Sushi is quite the name. Phoenix, did you have your ramen tonight? Hey, Cult of Mayhem. Hello, I'm gonna be lurking here while the husband and I enjoy wine and cheese boards. Oh, that sounds delicious. How you doing, Missy? So guys, I talked about this on my... Whoa, hang on a second. Let me cut my brakes for a second. I don't want to grind to a halt. It would help if I had focus and not focus on chat. There we go. Shout out to our friend Cult of Mayhem, also known as Missy. Our new friend who... I was telling you guys on my stream over the weekend, I was hanging out on her stream Saturday night for the first time. We classy. Yeah. She came and hung out here for the first time Friday night last week. So she is a relatively new streamer on Twitch, only a few months. Who, if I got it right, Missy is a professional cosplayer. So she was doing Just Chatting over the weekend, and she has a YouTube channel and everything, and she's just recently started doing her thing on Twitch as well, and doing it well from what I can see. And throw her a follow, check her out. She's pretty cool. From what I can see, her husband is also pretty cool. And was definitely enjoying your stream over the weekend, Missy. I was a little disappointed you haven't streamed since Saturday, but hopefully next time you do stream, I'll be able to catch you. But it looks like your normal stream is the same times that I normally stream, so we'll have to see. But welcome, good to see you. How's your week been? And if you got your hands full of wine and cheese, you don't have to type, so that's okay. But no, throw her a follow, ladies and gents, if you can. She's really cool. Very interesting stream. And very interesting line of business you guys are in. Phoenix, sorry I missed what you said before. You just got done eating your ramen. Cool. And got to get going. Have a great night. Thanks, Phoenix. Appreciate it. Oh, damn it. Oh, there we go. So, see that red light ahead, guys? That's exactly where I spadded in that winter scenario. And SPAD means signal pass at danger. It's a railroad term, which means, well, in general, there is no bigger no-no in railroading than going through a red light. You can technically lose your license for doing that. So in the game, if we roll through a red light, automatic fail to mission. So I got caught up in chat a little bit, and I panicked. That's why I came to a complete stop. And we got a real heavy-ass freight train right now, so it's a little hard to get it going again, but just take some patience. Even though technically we're going downhill, you would think it would be easier to get it rolling. But there's a lot of elasticity between each car. And it takes a while to kind of build up the tension between each car, plus each one of the brakes on every car from front to back to release. So it's kind of tricky to get rolling again sometimes. Let's see, Missy said, I forgot your question. My hands were literally full of wine and cheese when you said it. And I forgot my question too now, Missy. We do stream at the same times, though. I stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but sometimes Mondays now. Okay. Yeah, same here. I'm usually Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Although I'm streaming to, there we go. So that we got just enough tension, brakes all released, and now we're rolling. But I'm going to cut power because we don't need much power to finish the mission. We have to get it to that point and not go through the red light. I'm going to save here because I don't want everybody who was joining us in stream tonight to kind of waste their time and not see a successful ending. Because this is not my normal night, Wednesday nights. So, Missy, the only reason I'm streaming tonight is because I probably won't get to stream this weekend because I got to work this weekend. My day job is turning into a weekend night job this coming weekend. I got a big project, so I'm streaming tonight, just throwing in a bonus stream for all the beautiful folks hanging out here. 10 yards. 5 yards. And there's our stop. Woohoo, we did it. That better be a damn gold medal. Color says, no, we did it, Color. We're all right. We're all right. We got it. Oh, no medal. Oh, okay, so on Sand Patch grade, they didn't put the medal. Yeah, exactly. They didn't put the medals in. So that was 1 hour, 52 minutes, 50 miles, mostly uphill, including 6 yards on foot. I don't even remember walking, but I guess I did. So, yeah. GG, thank you, Color. Uh-oh, Color, you're a little low on mojo. See if we can help you out there, Color. You're a good guy. Alrighty. Thank you, Color. We'll throw one of these in there, too. Not for me, but for all the patient people who sat with us for 2 hours while we muscled that train up that mountain. So, yeah, even though I don't normally stream on Wednesdays. Oh, no, I think what I was... no, that wasn't what I was going to think of. Never mind. Stream brain, I think, is setting in. But, yeah, so we got that done. All right, so we had mentioned a little bit earlier the new routes coming up for Train Sim World 2. I just clicked into the online news page that we have. This is the ICE. This is the high-speed train that we're going to be getting as part of the new game. It's going to be in the base game. So that's pretty slick. That's a far cry from the kind of the the workhorse that we were just driving. So I do drive a lot of passengers. Have they showed gameplay yet? Only a little bit, Color. There's matter of fact, just yesterday, there's a promo trailer released for this line on YouTube. So you should be able to find it. Or there's a link in Daffy's Discord and also Schnauzer Power's Discord to it. And Baldenold's Discord. All right. But yeah, Color, there's I don't have a link to it handy, but you should be able to find it pretty easy. The cab looks very white. No, I think the cab is actually more blue inside. I mean, it's very white outside, but the inside, the actual driver's position is, I think it's more blue. But you have to check it out. It is in the trailer. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm misremembering then. Friday screens? I don't remember seeing this. Oh, yeah, this is the London Underground, the Bakerloo line. I believe the rolling stock shown here is called the 1972 stock. So it's somewhat similar to what we drive on World of Subways 3, but it's a different line. Where World of Subways 3, we drive the Circle line, and we're driving C stock. But, you know, for those of you who watch my streams doing World of Subways 3, you've seen me run something very similar here, but it'll be a different treatment in Train Sim World 2. So I'm looking forward to that because I like the London Underground, or the Tube, I think as it's also called. Oh, cab screen is here. There you go, caller. And this is actually the cab screen from the 1972 stock on the London Underground. All right. And this is actually, this looks like the cab, the one we were just driving, caller, the AC 4400. So very similar to what we were just running. But with the new graphical engine, you know, the newer version of Unreal Engine they're building this on, I'm hoping to see some improvements over what I just drove. So I guess we'll know in a couple weeks. All right. And you know what? Let me check one more thing before we sign off. AC 4400 I now have 178 miles on it and change. Okay. So I've got, I believe, over 1,000 miles on some other lines. I was just curious what I had on that particular train. I think out of all the CSX trains, this is the one I've driven the least. I might be wrong on that. Let me just check the other ones real quick. 248. No, this one, Jeep 38. 87. 178 and AC 4400. Okay. So, yeah. All right, folks. So, again, thank you for dropping in, hanging out, enjoying seeing all of the faces on Wednesday night, which is not my normal night. So, thanks for joining us for our Hump Day bonus stream. So, everybody have a great rest of your night and week ahead and weekend ahead. And
you're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.